everyone, we're at a different farm this time. So we're at Edmar right now. We just left Honey Locust behind me. So now we're looking at some dairy cattle. Behind me, there are some bottle-fed calves still on the bottle. Their moms, thanks to Dakota's help. Hi, Dakota. Their moms are over there. So they've been separated the mom. They've been being fed from the bottle. And then in this pen over here, we have some dairy cows that are going to calve. As you can see, this is a completely different setup than the farm that we were just at. Raising beef cattle is completely different than raising dairy cattle. We are under a barn right now. Dairy cattle are extremely sensitive to heat, so we need to make sure that they have plenty of time to get out of the sun. You'll see these large fans up on the roof is to help also keep them cool, and their bedding gets changed pretty frequently. A lot of times, especially in Florida, what we offer our cows is something called sand beds, and we like to offer them sand beds because sand does not retain heat very much, and so it cools down quickly, and it lets the animals cool down really quickly too. The cool thing about Edmar, which I'll show you guys later, is that they have a milking parlor. So it's very official. They have like the machinery that they use for milking. So they don't do anything by hand. In fact, that is a cow being milked right now. And this cow is in line. And what's funny about dairy cows are on a schedule. They enjoy being milked. Milking relieves a lot of pressure, and they get used to that schedule a lot. So this cow's already in line. She's like, I'm ready. I'm getting milked tonight. We're excited. So she knows her schedule's coming. She knows that milking's coming up. And so it's cool how they recognize a schedule and they get used to it. They'll do the same thing in the morning. Here we have a couple cows feeding, although it looks like their ration for the day is almost done. Hi, Mama. Hi, Mama. Very sweet dairy cows. Unlike beef cattle, dairy cows are handled a lot more by the farmers, by the ranchers, by their handlers than beef cattle. Beef cattle are not handled as much as dairy cattle. Looking at their feed here, it looks like they've got some corn, they've got some pellets, they've also got some forage and some hay in there. It's important that they get forage and hay. Just like beef cattle, even though they're not out on pasture, it's required for their digestive system. So they still need that hay. Oh, I see sand beds. So in the way back over there, hi baby, sorry. In the way back over there, where those cows are laying down, you can see the sand beds that they're laying down. Around the backside so you can see it a little better. But it is a completely different setup in here than the beef cattle farm that we were just at. And let's go look at the milking parlor. You want to go look at the milking parlor? Transition. But I can't stop the video because I can't edit it to put it on YouTube. I'm not good at that. Maybe if I had like TikTok or something, I'd be able to make it work, but I use YouTube. So we're gonna keep going while we walk. Oh, thank you, Solar. All right, so this is the milking parlor. Extremely technologically advanced equipment in here. Yes, okay. So this liquid over here in these tubes, formulated liquid detergent, we use iodine. The udders, the teats of the cows, have to be cleaned off before and after milking. This machine basically runs itself. It uses a laser to locate where the udders are, positions itself, and as you can see, it has suction cups detergent through those, and then it begins the milking process after they are weaned. And so this takes the human element out of milking, so they're not hand milked anymore. However, the handlers still are going to work with their calves and their cows a lot to make sure that they're easy to handle if they need to. And then it just says right here, it's got milk yield, it's got the cow number, the weight, whole bunch of information on here that can help. This is the laser measurement from the teat, so it's actually showing you where it's getting most of the milk from right now. Super cool, super technologically advanced, and we really, really like that. Normally, cows get milked 2 to 3 times a day, depending on the size of the cow, depending on the size of their udders. These cows here are Holsteins. We talked about Holsteins today. And the reason we talk about Holsteins and Jerseys a lot is because they are the most commonly used dairy cattle in the United States, because on average they are able to produce the most amount of milk. So they produce a greater amount of milk than some of their other counterparts. They don't necessarily have the highest fat quality, so they don't necessarily produce the best butters or the best ice creams, but they produce a large quantity of milk that can then be made into butter and ice cream and all that other stuff. I'm just gonna go around the back. Dakota's my tour guide. I'm asking him all the questions. I don't want to get in trouble. That's their silo. Oh, it's upside down. Oops. I'm such a bad filmer. This is why you just keep the screen sideways. Just keep it sideways and don't try to flip it. We also have some calf pens over here. And these calves that are in these calf pens are off the bottle, right, Dakota?
For the most part. There might be a couple still on it.
Okay. So there might be a couple on the calf pens out here that are on the bottle. But we keep them separate just so that they get used to being by themselves. They're not out with it. Very playful. I love cows. They're the best, aren't they? Very friendly because, like I said, they get visits every day from their handlers. They've been bottle fed. And so when they've been bottle fed, they're used to people's hands. They're used to people being around them. Aside from colostrum, they'll normally get the colostrum from the mother. And then once they get the colostrum, they'll be bottle fed from there on out. So they do get separated from the mother. And then these are the sand beds I was talking about. They love the sand beds. So as far as cattle production is concerned, the dairy cows live the lavish lifestyle compared to those beef cattle. Their job is to eat and to sleep and to produce milk, and that's what they do. And the calves out here will eventually move in here back with their mom. They might end up back with their mom. They'll move back with the same herd, but they have to be separated for a little while to wean. To get used to eating on their own. And dairy cattle has been bred for hundreds of thousands of years. Selective breeding by humans has made dairy cows not the best moms. They're not terrible moms, but they tend to crush their babies often by laying on them, by walking on them, and they have no problem leaving their calves unattended to go get some food and enjoy some sleep. And that's because of us humans. We wanted that to be the way. So that way we could make sure that we got the products that we needed, which is good for us. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this tour. We actually might have a field trip come spring at Edmar, and some other places as well. So y'all might be able to see this in person, but hope you enjoyed it. Very different. Finish your KWL charts. I'm signing out.